Stangibelisco here. I received a very interesting comment in one of my recent videos, the one that pertains to which operating system do you use or prefer? And the comment indicated that this particular user views most of his files on a smartphone rather than on a computer. Well, he was referring, of course, to internet browsing and using a computer evidently only for that application, internet communications and browsing and applications. And of course, a smartphone generally has a very small screen so that it can't reveal a lot of detail unless you zoom in. And if the video is a technically complicated video, it needs high resolution. That can be kind of a pain in the neck to zoom in and try and read a very complex schematic diagram in great detail on a small screen. So a lot of my videos are rendered at 1080p resolution intended for at least a PC size screen or a notebook computer size screen, or a large tablet, preferably even a giant LED display. Those are the very best for that. But in his country, people are generally too poor to afford PCs, and they apparently don't use them for very much computing, such as word processing, the older applications, word processing, things like drawing schematic diagrams in detail, and other things that I use to produce my books. By the way, a new book is coming out later this summer, and I'm expecting to get the page proofs for that book very soon. So I'll be plenty busy with those. Would you believe I'm having the compositor mail me the page proofs on paper so that I can scan them and send them back to her with my corrections indicated on the scans? Now, you can't do that with a smartphone. At least it would be enormously cumbersome. So I have a high-end computer that never sees the internet at all, and I transfer, I make all of my scans on that computer and then transfer those scanned files to an internet compatible computer, such as the Windows 10 toy that I'm using now, but more often a Windows 7 computer, and then I just upload those files, attach them to emails, and send them to her. But in this person's country, which happens to be Syria, which I found very interesting, that the internet and the technical interests in computers seems to cross all national boundaries and ideologies, just as ham radio does. Smartphones prevail, and you need a small screen, and it's nice to be able to view the video in small screen format, meaning it's going to be low resolution. There's just no way about it. So that is one of the reasons why you've seen a lot of the selfies that I've done lately in relatively low resolution. The other reason, of course, is to conserve internet bandwidth, because as these computers, particularly the Windows 10 computers, phone home more and more often and update themselves online more and more often, we're gobbling up more and more internet bandwidth and leaving less and less for the legitimate applications that we really intend to produce. So you'll find that this is a small video in terms of megabyte size, a low resolution video, but it shows my face in enough gory detail, I'm sure, to satisfy or nauseate, as the case may be, any one of you. So that's the gist of the small, uh, low resolution video philosophy, is that in a great large part of the world, much of the video viewing is done on smartphones with small screens. And you don't want to have a microscope in order to view the videos or constantly be zooming in to view technical details. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but not generally not, like in this case. So what do you use? Do you use a smartphone primarily to browse the internet, or do you use a PC or a Mac or a regular computer, or a little of both, or in what proportion? So comments are open. I'd like to know, and I'm sure other viewers would like to know too. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, so long.